Hey guys, Mox here again. I'm back with another short video. This time the video is about the Last Chance Qualifiers. That'll be coming up in October. I believe they start October 8th. Right now all the teams pretty much boot camping, getting ready. I know a lot of them are over in Kuala Lumpur. These are all teams that you have seen before, that you love, that you're really hoping that they were going to make it into TI. This is their last chance and it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I'm so incredibly excited. There are four teams that I kind of want to focus a little bit more on here that I think have really good chances of making it to TI. Those four teams are Team Secret, Virtus Pro, formerly known as Outsiders, Extreme Gaming, and of course T1. And I know what you're thinking, Mox, so aren't you going to throw any of that support behind your South American boys or your North American boys? And those teams are all absolutely fantastic. But I think when it comes to just international play, and also having that experience, a lot of these guys don't quite have it yet. So that's going to make it very, very difficult. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see, some of these NASA teams doing an upset. My heart really wants to see Nouns do well. We want to see Tempest too, because, those are some of the guys that were at the international before. But I think, again, they need just a little bit more time when they're going up against these behemoths. So the first team that I'm throwing my support behind, or maybe not support, but think will do really well, is Team Secret. I think this is no surprise to people. You look at this roster, you've got Crystallis, you've got Nisha, Resolution, Zayats, and Puppy. I mean, Puppy has been at like every TI. They've got a great captain there in Heen. Rezo really looked like he was fitting in with the group really well too. I just feel like this particular roster has a very good chance of making it out of these qualifiers. It's going to be really, really tough. They're not as bloodied as some of the other rosters, but I feel like they do have the experience, especially coming out from Puppy as the captain. Rezo has been playing, on an international stage for quite a while, so has Nisha. Zayats has been, in and out a bit. Crystallis has been making a lot of really impressive moves, so definitely a team to be watching. And you're good. I know a lot of people too, they're like, oh, but Team Liquid, look at Liquid. And yes, I love Liquid. I'm a huge fan of these guys. They're super wholesome, they're super talented, but I have felt like they've been a little bit consistent, which is why I think Secret might have the edge. But again, really would be happy to be proven wrong on this. The other team here, Virtus Pro, also known as Outsiders. They recently got their Virtus Pro tag back. That's a whole other debacle. I'm not going to get into this. They didn't drop a single game during their regional qualifiers. I need you to let that sink in for a moment. Not a single game. These guys are some of the dark horse in my opinion. They really you got GPK, you got DM. I'm a big fan of both of these players. They are very, very good. I watched them during DPCs. I casted a bunch of their games, and both of them impressed me. I think GPK didn't have almost any deaths one season. This guy's excellent. Ramses, of course, is someone who's been around for quite a while. Definitely has moments where he looks really, really good, but I feel like the squad that he has behind him on this particular roster can also help really enable him. So Virtus Pro, a team, keep your eyes on them. They could, have already burned their flare at this point. Maybe, they're going to bomb out now because they did so well during regionals, and then all of the stress will hit them. But they look super solid right now. Coming out of China, Extreme Gaming. You've got Paparazzi, you got Old 11, PYW, DY. These guys, absolute goddamn legends. And then you've got Lou, who has been fitting into this roster, who's been doing a great job. This one just feels like, with all those really talented players, has a lot of potential going up of some of these other teams that aren't familiar with playing against Chinese Dota. One thing you have to keep in mind, though, is that they do have their weaknesses. That's one of the downsides, of course, of being, really well-known players. A lot of the times, that Old 11 is the one who runs in there with his face. He's the one who is very, very aggressive, and so you can kind of play around that depending, but with this kind of Dota pedigree, so to speak, or this kind of reputation, I expect to see Extreme Gaming do quite well. And then, of course, the last team on the list is T1. And again, you've got the duo of Zephyr and Whitemon. They have been super, super impressive in the past. So this is a very, very strong support duo. You've got Cuckoo on the team, is definitely, one of those off-laners that people take notice of. And then, of course, you've got Anna and Thompson. And I feel bad sometimes because we put so much pressure on these guys, especially Anna. Anna has come back in this past year. He has been, working his butt off. And everyone's just like, oh, he's washed up. He hasn't been doing as well as he should be doing. And no. It all comes down to it's a team game. So as long as he has the right sort of team to back him up, Anna, I think, can shine. I think he can do super well. And now you've got Thompson in there too. You've got these two very flashy players. You've got two support players, and Zephyr and Whitemon, who are extremely stable, who are able to kind of control the pacing of the game. And then you've got Cuckoo, of course, who's going to be able to be making the space. This roster has a lot of potential. Am I completely sold on it? Not 100% just yet. I would like to see how, things start to settle in, because a lot of it is synergy. You look at these other teams, they've been playing together for quite a while now. They haven't made, crazy roster changes for the most part. Having your 1 and 2 come in for TI is a little surprising. It is a little bit risky because you're not 100% sure how they're going to perform. You need a very strong voice on this team, too. I know Anna tends to be quite quiet from all the interviews that I've read and seen. So I think this team has some really good potential, but I'm curious. Like, that's kind of like my biggest dark horse here is like, how are they gonna do? And it's not so much, focused on Thompson, focused on Anna. It's more, can this can the support part of the roster stabilize the game enough to create enough opportunity and space to give the cores what they need? That's what I'm really interested in. But this has been a little bit longer of a video than I was hoping. But now, these are my 4 teams that I think, they look really good. It's going to be exciting Dota. They have very high potential. Again, these other guys, absolute rock stars. Very, very talented. They would not be in the Last Chance Qualifiers if they weren't. So absolutely no shade on them. I'd love to see them do well as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And gonna have to wait until October to see who's making it in. Exciting times.